Guys, I remember there was a story about a young kid. I think he was about 12 years old. He applied to get a job to work at IBM, Microsoft. He applied at Google. He applied at 100 different places in the United States. And all of them rejected him. They didn't give him an interview. They said, "What? Are you kidding me?" And their recruiting teams just completely wrote him off. Now, he did get a job. It was at SpaceX. Now, speaking of SpaceX, this kid from China is 11 years old. But there's a good chance SpaceX are going to give him a job as well. But this story, it's not about SpaceX. It's not about anything at all to do with SpaceX. It's about a young kid. And what he did that could end up changing the world. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Fantastic to see you. I'll be at the EV show in Melbourne. Now, it's in Melbourne. Guys, come for a trip. If you're in the States, if you're in Sydney, if you're in Perth, you know what? Come for a holiday. Perfect time of year. It's winter in Melbourne. Yeah, maybe not the perfect time of year. Anyway, the perfect time of year to just see new electric cars. Without going to China, you can see Xpeng and Zeekr EVs and BYD, and where else can you do that, right? Anyway, and it's about very, very cheap, about 20 bucks. If you use my link, you get a discount on your tickets. I'll put a link in the description below. I'll be there on the 9th and 10th of August, and I'll be speaking there as well. An 11-year-old Chinese boy actually built a rocket himself. Now, not with his dad's help, but he built a rocket himself. Now, incredibly, Yan Hongsen, a young internet prodigy, has just revealed his latest video featuring 600 lines of code that he wrote for his rocket's flight control system. Not only did he build this rocket, he wrote the code for its flight control system. Now, I thought to myself, Elon Musk, right, he wrote code. He created his own computer game when I think he was about 10 or 11 years old, and he actually sold that to a computer magazine. I thought, what a story, amazing. This kind of makes Elon Musk's story look like nothing, right? It makes it look a lot less significant. The 440,000 followers of Rocket Boy have been watching this inspiring prodigy or aerospace engineer over the past few years, according to The Star. Starting in August of 2022, in other words, when he was, I think, 9 or 10 years old, he built his first rocket. That took him 10 months. That was a lot quicker than SpaceX, by the way, guys. I'm serious, it was. In June 2023, he launched his inaugural rocket, named the Shenzheng, meaning moving forward. However, it malfunctioned after launch as the parachute didn't open once the booster separated from the rocket. As a true scientist in the making, he simply set out to learn and try again. My son Jack recently gave a speech at school, and it was all about him and his BMX racing, about crashing and then getting up and trying again. And it's just such an important lesson for children to learn. He recently updated his followers on his progress, revealing that he has written 600 lines of code in addition to self-studying physics and chemistry. He hopes to launch his next rocket soon and eventually become an aerospace engineer. Yan Hongsen's rise to fame began at the age of 4 when his father took him to a rocket launch, sparking the genius within him. Since then, he has learned programming languages, physical chemistry, aerospace theory, and electronic circuitry online. One of the great things about online, there's so much we can learn. Now, I got an email yesterday from someone saying, thanks for teaching me so many things about EVs and batteries and about the auto industry. I've learned a lot from you. It's one of the nicest emails I've gotten, and I have to say, it really does make what I'm doing feel worthwhile and give you that immense sense of satisfaction. So I want to say thank you to, I've not received one, I've received a few from different people, so thank you so much for sending those to me. At 9, he catapulted to internet fame when he publicly corrected errors in an astronomy video presented by a planetarium in Lhasa as reported by the South China Morning Post. At the time, he was photographed at a computer with a microphone and mouse, as he was also teaching aerospace to his classmates at 9 years old. Gaining the admiration of countless followers, he embarked on building his own rocket with 500,000 people watching in his living room that his parents transformed into a rocket research studio to help support him. So Yeah, I mean, this guy's got some pretty cool parents, so obviously supporting his ambitions. You would think as a dad, you'd be pretty scared that your 9-year-old's building a rocket, maybe he's going to blow himself up, but his dad's like fully supporting him. And maybe he's smarter than his dad. I'm guessing he probably is. Despite the rocket's malfunction, his first rocket was still considered a success by his dad. As setbacks happen even to the best aerospace engineers. SpaceX's Falcon 9 recently experienced a problem and had to delay its launch, and NASA had to reprogram Voyager 1 from billions of miles away. Interesting Engineering says that the 11-year-old demonstrated the right mindset by identifying the problem and returning to work. The nitrocellulose didn't explode as expected, he said. The spring and lithium battery were also damaged. Maybe there is still an issue with the rocket's body connection, Jan said. On China's X, it's a platform that's a little bit like X, a little bit like Facebook. It's called Weibo. His followers massively support him. And they're not saying, shut this guy down. Like, this is the kind of thing that to be honest, a lot of Australians, a lot of Americans, I know they'd be saying, shut them down, it's unsafe, you cannot be letting a child do this. I really respect the fact that so many people are rallying behind this kid. Jan Hongseng hasn't disappointed them, and he didn't disappoint them when he released his latest video of the 600 lines of code he's written for his second rocket. He plans to launch this rocket soon. Don't know exactly when. I'm guessing as soon as he can. According to the Global Times, Hong Sen divides his time between eating, sleeping, swimming, studying, and building rockets. Additionally, he builds rockets in every spare minute he can, apparently, as his goal is to send them into space. His father mentioned that the young prodigy wants to get into one of China's 7 prestigious civilian defense universities. Now, I was hoping he'd want to get into SpaceX, but yeah, it looks like he's headed into the Chinese military, potentially. His parents are remarkable for unconditionally supporting their child's dreams, commented one of Hong Sen's followers on Weibo. Another said this: he must be the youngest person to build a rocket in China. I'm going to guess he's probably the youngest person to build a rocket anywhere in the world. Thanks for watching.